Hi Capricorn, I hope that you're all doing well. I'm seeing that you are going to be getting some surprising news. I'm seeing that you have been working on something and like trying to move forward, and it feels like maybe trying to build or like do things that feel solid, like going in the right direction when it comes to investments. But what I'm seeing is like what you're not aware of is that there's about to be some like news or information or like an incoming conversation that happens. There's something very unexpected about it, and I'm seeing that I'm seeing you've been like very active within a process, but where I'm seeing you going is towards the death card, which means that there's something that's about to be closing out majorly for you. Like some major ending that is going to be happening, and I believe that it has to do with like this news that you're getting. Having in your recent past be King of Wands, this can mean like somewhere where you were actively showing up, but then having it move towards the death card in the near future feels like whatever that was that you were doing or participating in, or that role that you were playing, it's going to be coming to an end. So you're not going to be showing up there, you're not going to be doing that anymore. Like this situation is going to be over. But I'm getting it be like unexpected information, or like, yeah, unexpected conversation, unexpected news having to do with where things are going. I feel too like if you had a totally clean slate, like a totally new slate, that it may have been easier to build, but I feel kind of like you've been trying to build with a lot on your back, and that it's been making it more difficult. And there can be standards and expectations that have been being put on you that hasn't really made this the easiest. But yeah, you're about to be getting information. It's definitely going to clear some things up. Some of you could be being forced to let go of something too. I see kind of a position that's been being held on to, or something you were doing that was kind of just, I feel like it wasn't really moving. What this means too is that your best bet is going to be to surrender to whatever it is that's going on. That may not be the easiest, but yeah, I'm getting this thing again of, I think you were holding on to something, or like continuing to do something that cycle is going to be closing out, and it's like, yeah, just that cycle is going to be closing out. I feel like if I say more words, it's just like unnecessary. But whatever this was, I think that you were like pretty active within it. But that lately there could have been something going on with the energetics, and it feels like there wasn't smooth flow to things. So we're starting off with the World, and the second card that we have is Queen of Cups. I'm seeing an important conversation that's coming up. I think that you're even having a conversation with yourself. There can be another person that's included, but I think like you are thinking about things and definitely having dialogue with yourself before this is brought to another person. It's like getting in touch with how you feel about things before you talk about it, definitely, because I am seeing a new chapter that is going to be getting started, and you can just be like taking everything in, I think, overall. Yeah, I see there's something that's going to be starting for you. it feels like this is a big deal. It feels like that also means that there's something that you're going to be parting ways with. And the way that this looks like to me is that when you have something that's beginning and it feels like a new page, it's like a new leaf that's turning over, I think that you, on the kind of like emotional and spiritual front, are looking at this and you're taking it all in and you're feeling how you feel. And inevitably, this is going to lead to a conversation of like, well, I have this going on and this is what I'm going to be doing. So that means that that is not what I'm going to be doing. So I see something beginning. I see something that it looks like you're going to be I'm just getting like transiting out of this, transitioning. You're going to be transitioning out, but it's only because you have something else that's starting, and I'm seeing it feel like a big deal to you. And I see that like that's a lot of where your heart is right now. And I think that you're stepping away from something that you don't really feel like your heart belongs to that anymore. So it's just like kind of a trade out that's happening, and there's going to be a bit of a transition because I'm seeing this new chapter that's getting started. I feel like it's going to have kind of a slow start, and I feel like that having a slow start is allowing you to have kind of a slow exit simultaneously from the other thing that you're walking away from. So it feels like as you are wading into this new chapter, you are also wading out of an old chapter. So you're kind of just, like in the process of doing that transition right now. And I'd say that you're like pretty clear on how you feel about this, but there can be a conversation that needs to be had of like, this is official, I'm really going to be doing this. And maybe you needed to know that, I'm getting this thing again, like holding on to a position, but I almost feel like you weren't giving your energy to it. It's like if this is job related, that you may have been like still part of the company, but I almost feel like you weren't overexerting yourself, or for some of you there could have even been a pause, but you were like technically still holding on to that position. But I'm seeing it's going to be closing out for real, so it can mean like I'm not going to be part of that company anymore. It doesn't only have to be a work thing, but I'm seeing for some of you it definitely has to do with that. But it's not like something that you were actively moving around within. I'm seeing something where there like wasn't really too much movement that was happening, but maybe you had to like make sure that something else was going to fall into place before you actually did this. But now with the world, it feels like something is officially happening. And even though I am again seeing like a slow start to this, it feels like now you can have that conversation where you're like, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. So I feel like you have to like inform someone, or like put your like 2 weeks in or something like that, where it's like everything is being made very official now. But I see like you feel pretty confident about this, and that you feel like you're on track and this is really the right move for you. So I'm not seeing any like second guessing as far as that's concerned. But you could have been kind of keeping this to yourself, like maybe you weren't having open conversation or open dialogue about this, and now you can be saying something about it. It's like your story is continuing just with something else now. You can feel nervous about the transition, but I feel overall like you know that this is right for you. You may not always be in the business of totally trusting how you feel, or it may like, I get it more so like it takes time for things to set in, but you're gonna like later on know that this was the right choice for you to be making. So no worries at all. I'm not seeing anything that you're missing or anything that you need to see here. But because of just starting a big new chapter here and also closing out a chapter. So this is indicating that something big within your life is completing, something big within your life is beginning. And I think there can just be this feeling of like maybe some overwhelm that's associated with that. Mentally very busy. And I think also coming to terms with what's coming to an end, because I am seeing that you were emotionally involved with it, like you felt connected. And so to have this concluding, there can be both relief, but there can also be You know, it's just when you go through something and it takes a lot of energy, I feel like you are going to be catching your breath, but it just feels like the finality of everything now at this point, which I think that you may have been actually anxious about this being official. It's like thinking about it, but it wasn't time, but now it is time. So it can be like, okay, now the conversation is going to happen. It's like you knew that this was going to be happening leading up to it, but it wasn't time to happen, but now it's time to happen. And I'm seeing things calm down after that. I feel like there was a big building up to this, but you had to wait for certain things to fall into place before you could do something. Now you can do something about it. And then I am definitely seeing things settle down, but you have like new stuff that you're manifesting at this point, and I just think something is an old storyline that you're stepping out of now to continue the rest of your journey. Like you have plans and whatnot, but I feel like this is going to be actually a pretty smooth transition. That doesn't mean it's always easiest to say goodbye to things, but I'm seeing it's like you're saying goodbye to something that you know it's time for you to say goodbye to. So even though it can still be difficult, you know that this is the right move, yet it can still be hard to say goodbye. So I think it's like also about normalizing that for yourself too, you know, like if this was people that you were working with or an environment that you were in, you can know that your story is going to continue elsewhere, but you can be like still sad about it and stuff and just like coming to terms with everything, you know, because you're just going to be switching hands here with everything. But I see you be at a point where I think you're like pretty clear about what you want and what you want to be doing and what your deeper intention is, and you know that this transition was necessary in order for you to actually accomplish that. So I actually see you being pretty sure within yourself. I think too that you're really honoring the way that you feel, how you feel about all of this and what's really going on with you. And that can be something that feels a little bit uncomfortable, risky, vulnerable, but you're going to thank yourself later for it. I think you're learning how to trust yourself in this way too. I see also that I don't know if this is just a mental vacation that you're taking or you're going to be getting off social media for a little bit, but I see something about you not being as socially active. It doesn't mean that it has to be for a long period of time, but I'm seeing something like somewhere where you may have been like reaching out to other people or like actively having conversations. I'm seeing something slowed down. But this feels like it has to do with the transitionary period. Or if you're moving from something that was kind of like involved and chaotic or very busy, this thing that you're transitioning into, it feels like, yeah, there's a slow start to it. So I'm not seeing it be really chaotic and busy like that. So I feel like you're mentally going to get a bit of a break too. But there is maybe a conversation that you've kind of been dreading having or feeling anxious about or thinking a lot about that I feel like can finally be happening now. This is definitely the right move overall, but I do see you really having to be in touch with yourself in order to, I think, like validate that at the end of the day for yourself. You also just have to be easy on yourself because transitions can be difficult even when you know it's the right choice for you to be making. What you're moving towards, it can be a direction that's actually going to end up being more collaborative, but it can be something that you feel like is more at your pace and more on the same wave as you with where you are now. And that you're going to feel happy with this because I think it like meets your standards now as you know them to be and kind of like what you want. Yeah, again, this thing of like, I don't think that this is easy for you to do, but you know that you need to do this. You can feel anxious when it comes to having to express yourself and advocate for yourself in a situation like this. But I am seeing that you're going to definitely have some time where, sometimes you're in a situation where you go from one thing that's like very busy and involved to another thing that's very busy and involved, and you like don't really get that space in between. I'm seeing that you will be having space in between. So I think that you're going to have some time to kind of just like decompress. And that when you get the time to do that, like when things kind of slow down, you're going to look around and know that you're going in the right direction. But right now it can just be hard to feel that out. But I see stuff within you that's been wanting to be expressed, and it's been wanting to be worked on, and it's been wanting your active participation, that it feels like you've been having to hold yourself back. But now things can move forward. So everything seems like it's on track, but I definitely am seeing like a big ending that's about to be happening for sure, but everything seems in order. I think like later on you're going to allow yourself to feel this and feel good about it in a way that you may not be like totally feeling right now. I feel like it's going on and you can like tune into it, but I feel for some reason like you're going to have some delayed happiness about this that you may not be feeling now, but you're going to get to a point and look back and be like, wow, I'm so glad that I did this, and just like good feelings about things. So all right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.